From Studio 18 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is In Studio with Susan Minuk.
My next guest is one of Canada's up-and-coming Jewish country singer-songwriters. Her lyrics speak poignantly to love, loss, and the enduring power of dreams. Please welcome to our studio, Dayna Shereck. So Dayna, you found music much later in life, something that distinguishes you from many of your peers. What drew you to country music, singing, and songwriting?
I've always been a music fan, so that was a big part of my life, but I started hearing melodies in my head, and I was going through a rough time emotionally, which I think probably brought things to the surface in terms of being able to find it and find that outlet. But I really started hearing melodies and how I heard songs going and thinking to myself, is that a song or is that something that I'm actually hearing writing for the first time? And there was this little feeling about it at the beginning of not really knowing what this was. And I had a good friend teach me just a few chords, and I was able to write maybe 12 songs right off the bat, and
Very
it was
impressive.
just like it had to come out. It was sort of something that really I guess I needed to do, you know, and it was such a strange thing because it really did come out of nowhere.
So you had a hidden gift that you didn't even know about.
I didn't know about it, and it's, you know, I often wonder if, you know, our situations that we're going through, you know, it really makes you feel like, are these, it's almost, what do they say, it's like a vessel in a certain way. You're, you know, you think to yourself, one of my first songs, I wrote it sort of front to back, the whole thing, with a bridge, with the whole thing. I thought, how did I do that? Like, I kind of thought afterwards, where did it come from? It's almost like this delivered thing that you were able to do. But so many things through this have never quite made sense. They're almost from like otherworldly in a certain way. And then as time went on, you learn the craft and you learn to sort of figure out how to do it.
So you've told me that you consider yourself a songwriter first. What does that mean?
When I started writing songs, I never imagined that I'd be singing them. You know, I've never felt like a strong vocalist. I've never seen myself in that role as an artist, performing live. I've enjoyed it. It's something I look back, sometimes you look back and you think, oh, I sang a lot as a kid. You know, I really enjoyed it, but never anything I ever thought I'd be doing, or I could definitely do, that I could do professionally in any way. It didn't even cross my mind. So it was really through songwriting and pitching it to other people, and then getting to a certain place where I was meeting songwriters that were putting out their own stuff and saying, you know what, you never know what can happen. Maybe try singing your own song. You might just be able to tell the story in a different way if it's your voice telling your story.
Okay, Dayna, I've heard that you have a real estate project coming up that will become a musical sanctuary and a songwriter's haven. I'm so fascinated. Tell me about this project.
Okay, this is actually, I would say, my baby at the moment, something I'm really working on and excited about. I purchased a property a few years ago, really just a small house with the idea that I was going to slowly renovate it, rent it out, and it would be a place to eventually live or have as a retirement home or something. And through that process, I've really fallen in love with real estate, with managing properties, with renovating, the entire process of it I've loved. So the goal is, and it's actually in process, there's things happening at the moment, is to build I would say it's a guest cottage, which would have a lot of songwriting influences to it. You know, might have little lyrics carved into certain areas, a guitar. The idea is to have it as a bed and breakfast that can be used by anybody who's looking for sort of an overnight rental in Prince Edward County, but definitely a great place for artists. And part of what I really wanted to do is also be able to donate it a couple of times a year to feel that it's a place that becomes special to a lot of people, and regardless of circumstances and where somebody might be at, this is a place that you can go. You can, have the fireplace, be able to kind of write and have a retreat.
So Dayna, I know everyone wants to be able to hear your voice, buy your music. Where can they do that?
Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. It's really released everywhere and available for streaming, and on my website, which is www.songsbydayna.com.
So I'm curious, what are you working on now?
Yeah, now I've been doing, I have a couple of things that I'm working on. I have released a few singles over the last few years, and they're very much country singles. I really enjoy co-writing. The last couple I've written independently, sort of during COVID.
We spoke, you and I, just at the beginning of COVID, and I got introduced to your music.
Oh.
And I love your voice.
Thank you.
And I like your lyrics. It's very happy and upbeat. And even when the lyrics are a little more deeper, there's still your voice. It's just, I love it.
Thank you.
So thank you for being our guest
I really
here.
Appreciate it. Thank
Me
you.
too.
Canadian Jewish TV is brought to you by Album Equipment Rentals, the MPL Modular Film and Audio Studios, Tom's Place, Key West Video, and Chairman Mills. The Elevator Show and In Studio are signatures of Canadian Jewish TV.